Well, hello. Welcome back. Today is Friday and the date is March 15th. And in case you can't tell, I have a terrible throat. I've been fighting a respiratory infection apparently, and I'm on medication for that. But I can at least talk today, which is better than I was yesterday. So forgive my throat, my sound of my voice, and I will try not to keep you too long to have to listen to how scratchy it is. But I just wanted to share a couple of things with you today. First, I wanted to thank everyone for your wonderful comments on my last video. You're always so kind to comment anyway, but I did put an interesting tidbit in there about some framing that I've been working on at the request of one of my viewers, and I wasn't sure how that was going to go over because I'm not a professional framer, and all I was doing is showing you guys what I did. But the comments on it were so generous, and I just want to thank you for that. You guys have been very supportive, and I appreciate it very, very much. And the second thing I wanted to mention is that several of you have noticed that I have a new haircut. And I got it cut again today. So I had to come show it to you since you've noticed that I'm wearing it differently. Anyway, thank you for that as well. So now on to the stitching. This is my first update for this half of the month, and so I'm tickled to be starting it off with one of my Stitch 9 projects. This is a Kiss for Snowman. It's a gold collection Petite dimensions kit. As you know, a gift from my son at Christmas. I have a picture of where I left off the last time that I had been working on this, and I'll put that in here. And now I'll show you what it looks like after today. Isn't he precious? I just love this. That little snowman deserves a kiss. He's so cute. I was able to put all the rest of his face in place and then come down and work on his scarf and then start the little girl's hand and arm where she's reaching up, you know, hugging him to kiss him. I came up here and did a couple of colors in there because I'm trying to work my way down, and I'd like to finish this half of the piece if I could and then move on. I wanted to go ahead and show you this piece today. I had planned possibly on stitching it tomorrow as well because I have a virtual stitching meetup tomorrow, and there will be 3 or 4 of us getting together who met at a retreat in Bloomington, Indiana a couple of years back, and we're gonna stitch together virtually through Facebook Messenger. And I thought this piece would be a good one to work on, especially in the background and stuff that's easier to see. And but I worked on it so much today, I think I'm ready for a little bit of a break, and I have a new start I might pick up tomorrow that you saw my Halloween piece, or I might work some more on Friends for my my friend's birthday piece because there may be some big blocks of color in there, but I'm looking for something that's easy to stitch without, you know, the chance of making too many errors because I'll be talking. Well, maybe listening more than talking, but anyway. So I do want to thank you all for coming back to see me again and spending a little bit of time with me, and I look forward to giving you an update after my virtual stitching meetup on what I was able to work on and how much progress I've made on my next whip. So in the meantime, you guys, I hope will have a good weekend of stitching ahead of you. Happy stitching, everyone. Good night. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Dina and today is St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. I'm in my green, as you can see, for St. Patty's Day. I wanted to stop by today. In addition to wishing you a happy St. Patrick's Day, I wanted to share with you my latest finish and also some happy mail that I received. So I've worked on April of my year of celebrations. You've seen how I've been putting this on a little display board that I got from Hobby Lobby, just with the magnets. And so I have not fully finished this yet. I just finished stitching it. So I wanted to share it with you. But this is my April. This is April. It says Grow. And I just think it's great. I love the colors in it. So I've got that one finished, and I will fully finish it before the end of the month so that it can go up on my board for next month. But I chose to do that one out of order because I normally will wait and do it at the end of the month for the ABC sale. However, I had a virtual stitching meetup yesterday, and I wanted something I could stitch on that wasn't too taxing to count, so I could chat with everybody. And I was able to start it right before the stitching time that we had set, and I stitched on it while we talked, and then last night I just continued stitching on it until I finished it. So it was a long day of stitching, but it was wonderful. I enjoyed it so much. And so now I have another finish for the month. I'm very excited about that. So what that means is that when I'm ready to stitch on my ABC sale at the end of this month, I'll pull out my final sheep virtue for my afghan, and that's what I'll use, and I will get it finished in this month. So that is exciting to me too. Okay. I want to share with you some happy mail. I have a great little story to tell you. I won't make it long because I know you want to get back to your stitching. And I hope you're stitching while you're watching me. But I had a lovely experience with one of my subscribers. She and I began commenting on a video and then joined each other's Facebook as friends, or exchanged our emails, I think, and we have sent each other information and product and things like that. Well, she lives in England and then in the UK, and she also is fixing up a house in Spain. I think they're getting ready to move there. But she came to the United States for her very first visit just about a week or so ago. Well, now that you're seeing this, it may be a month ago. But the whole time she was planning for her trip, she was researching LNSs and where she could shop, and we were talking about her trip, and I got to enjoy her experience of coming to the United States for the first time and seeing part of our country and experiencing her first needlework shop, which was overwhelming to her in the beginning, and I can imagine it would be. So anyway, I don't have permission to share her full name, so I'll just call her Gloria. But I got the sweetest surprise yesterday in the mail. I got a package from Gloria, and she wrote me the sweetest note and told me that she had been thinking of me on her trip, and she had picked up a couple of things for me. She wanted to mail it from the United States just so she could go to one of our post offices, but she didn't have time. But she was kind enough to mail this all the way from the UK anyway, and I want to share with you what she had put together for me. And I love what she said in her note. She said, I wanted to send you something that seemed the most appropriate. Christmas. I know you love that. Check. Glendon Place. Check. A little doggy looking out the front door. Check. I will tell you, she knows me well. This is the pattern that Gloria chose for me. This is a beautiful Glendon Place. I'll be home for Christmas. And I do love that little doggy sitting there in that front door looking out. Isn't that precious? So this has to go into my new starts pretty soon as I can figure out a way to fit it in. And then she sent me a little chart because she said I introduced her to the phrase for the first time. This is not original to me, y'all know that, but it was the first time she had heard it was from me, and that is that no chart can travel alone. So she added in a chart she had stitched from Lizzie Kate. Be Silly. I love that one. I'm going to be stitching that soon. And then this was so cute. So cute. This is a Stitcher's Notebook and sticky pad. Now y'all are going to turn green, the color of my shirt, when you see it. Look at that. That says cross stitching, and it has a spool thread on it. And this is just a notebook with all these sewing motifs on it, and it's to keep track of your stitching projects or your shopping list or sketching ideas. It's a blank notebook. I can do whatever I want with it. It's like a little journal. I'm so excited. And it's purse size. It's perfect. Gloria, thank you. Thank you for thinking of me and sharing your trip with me by purchasing a pattern for me while you were shopping. Very, very kind. Thank you. I hope you're all having a great month of stitching. I have really been enjoying my stitching this month and working in the sales that I've been working on. I am still thoroughly enjoying hearing everybody talk about their Harry Potter stitching and loving that. And I hope somebody will be creative enough to come up with something similar to that in the coming year. And maybe it'll be something I can join in on. Anyway, I just wanted to stop by quickly, wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day, share with you my update, and I will talk to you again soon. Good morning, everyone. This is Dina. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday. It's March 19th, and I want to give you an update on my latest whip. You may see this one a couple of times this month. I hope so anyway. This is Nantucket Rose, and she is one of my Stitch 9 pieces, but she's also the piece that I have selected to try to finish by June for Ginger Gerald's challenge. So I did work on her yesterday in part of yesterday evening. I haven't worked on her yet today. Today is still young, but I felt like I needed a little break. I'm going to put a really strong day or two into her and then take a break and work on a couple of other things in between so I don't get burnt out, because it's just big blocks of color and it just goes and goes and goes. It's that skirt that I'm into. So I do have a picture of where she was when I got started. And here she is now. So you can see I got a little more of that skirt done, and I'm coming across trying to get a nice straight section done, and all that's left now are the white over here in this skirt. I may do white next time, and then there's dark over here starting again. So what I'm trying to do to give you my strategy on attacking this skirt is I'm going through first and I'm doing the darker shading, and then I'm coming back after I get all of the darkest color done for the section I'm going to work on. Then I do the next darkest, and then I fill in with that lightest color in there because it is close to the fabric and it's also the most of it. So I get all of the darker colors in, and then I have an outline that I can just fill in, and so that makes it a little bit easier to do that. I have another virtual stitching date coming up later this week. And so I'm thinking that that may be a good day to, if I can do some of those darker lines before I get on my stitching meetup, then I can do a lot of that fill-in, you know, while I'm talking, and then I won't be so afraid that I'll make mistakes. But she is coming along, but that skirt has got a long way to go. I looked at how far I made it when I worked on this and the amount of time that I spent doing that. And I've calculated up that I would need about 10 more stitching sessions to finish her. And to get that in before June, with Stitch Mania coming, means I would have to finish her. I would have to stitch on her at least 10 more times between now and June, with May only giving me maybe a few days, 2 or 3 days to get on her. So that means I may be seeing her a lot in April. We'll see. But I got my planner out yesterday. Y'all know how I like to plan what I'm going to do and at least have an idea, and then I can always change it. But I got my planner out yesterday, and I planned 2 things. I planned what I was going to stitch for Stephanie Kine's birthday sale, and I've got that all laid out on my calendar. And then I planned out how many days I could work on Nantucket Rose next month. So I'm hoping to be able to accomplish both things in the month of April. So that will be fun and very different. So I will blog what I do for Stephanie's birthday, and that'll be a little different simply because it'll be a different piece each day. There are a couple of days I'm able to do one piece for 2 in a row, so that'll be even better as far as progress. But that will be a quick turnaround for me. I'm not used to stitching on something only one day. Right now I stitch on things 2 to 3 days. So that will be a little bit of a change. So maybe you'll get to see all of my whips next month in the first half. Who knows? I hope you're having a good day, and I will talk to you soon. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dina. Today is Wednesday, March 20th, and I just want to thank you for coming back and seeing what I've been up to. I've been working on one of my whips, and this is called 12 Days. It is a kit designed by Jim Shore, and you've been seeing that if you've been watching my channel at all. And the last time that I talked with you about it, I had started right here in the middle and had worked my way up a little bit along here, had gotten the cuff of this sleeve done. And my plan is to work my way up and across and get this top half done, and then come back down and do all that confetti in the bottom. I think I'm avoiding it. Anyway, I'm very pleased with my progress for this time. So I'll show you where I'm at now. Here is my Jim Shore Santa. I was able to come over here and get the cape done, the glove, the staff, and start on these blue and white beautiful stars that look like the quilted background. So I'm very pleased about that. You can see the head and beard is beginning to be outlined. I think the next time I work on it, that's probably what I'll do. I'll do the head up, and maybe even go over and finish this column over here. There are 2 squares left on there. And but see if I can't get his head done next time. Anyway, I'm very pleased with it. It's coming along nicely, and the colors are so vibrant. It's a very fun piece to work on as far as the colors. And I hope you're enjoying watching it develop. I wasn't sure when I first decided to stitch it that I was going to do all that background. But truly for me, because I collect Jim Shore, that's what says Jim Shore to me. So I am going to do the background. And I'm enjoying that. So thank you for letting me share that with you. I have a bit of a life update today. I want to show you something my husband brought me that is so cute. He is light activated. I'll put some light on him and then he'll start moving really fast. But yeah, when I turn my lamp on to stitch, he starts dancing. This is my happy Easter. I love it. It's so cute sitting here on my sewing table. And the next thing I wanted to share with you is today I get the privilege of stitching virtually with Becky from Obsessed Stitcher. She and I are going to catch up with each other. We haven't seen each other in a while, either virtually or in person. So we just wanted to see how the other one is doing, and we're going to be talking today. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't even know what I'm going to stitch on yet. I've got to go pick it out. And I'll talk to you later in the week. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. Today is Friday, March 22nd. It is the first day of our weekend Stitch-a-thon, and I have been busy this evening stitching away, most of the evening actually, on this to get my stitches in because tomorrow I have a stitching meetup. The last time I had a stitching meetup that coincided with a Stitch-a-thon, I was made fun of so terribly for trying to count my stitches that day because I was talking so much I wasn't getting any stitching done. So anticipating that tomorrow, I decided that I would get started this evening on putting in my stitches for the Stitch-a-thon. So I decided to work on Flowers of the Holy Night. And the last time that I started on it, I have a picture of it here. This was my starting point today. I was roughly at the halfway point. So here's where I was. And today I'm happy to share with you that I stitched 1,036 stitches to get to this point. So the two things that I stitched this evening was this leaf and this leaf. Not a whole lot, but believe it or not, it took about 4 hours. It's silk thread. You have to cross every X each time, and I go a lot slower with this thread because the red on these variegated threads actually comes off on my hands. And so in order to try to keep it from having a residue on my fabric, I have to wash my hands frequently to get the red stain off of them. So these two are now done. So the next time I pick this up, I'll come over here and I'll finish this motif here, like it's done there. And then by the time I finish this motif, before I do these two leaves in the middle, I think it'll be time to roll my rods. I'll have to roll it up on the scroll. Pretty excited about that. So this will conclude my stitching for the Stitch-a-thon this weekend because I do have other obligations, as I said, tomorrow, and then I have a really busy day Sunday too. And I'm hoping to get some stitching in, but I never know if I'm going to get to do that or not. So as you can hear, I'm getting better. My voice is almost back to normal. I'm still a little scratchy in there, but it is getting better. And I appreciate all the kind words, those of you who sent me messages asking how I was doing. Anyway, I am going to stop what I'm doing now and pack for my stitching meetup tomorrow. I want to pack my little bag with my to-go projects and get ready to do that. And hopefully I'll have a report back for you when we get finished with that. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye. Hi, everyone. Happy Saturday. Today's March 23rd, and I just got home from a stitching meetup. We had such a good day today. Our library, where we normally meet, is remodeling, and I understand it's going to take about a year to get everything done. They had groundbreaking today, but our group has moved to a library just a couple of exits down the interstate, not far at all. And we met there today for the first time. None of us knew what to expect, but I will tell you, it was awesome. The room is probably 3 times as large as the room that we've been meeting in. All the tables and chairs were set up, and there's a whole wall of windows that we were able to open the blinds and get natural light in, and it was just fabulous today. I'm sorry that only 10 people could be there today. I know life happens and people have conflicts in their schedule, but it was just such a nice place. So we are not being too sad that we have been shoveled off to another meeting area right now, because it really is nice. Looking forward to see what the remodel will bring about, because if it's not as nice, we may have found a new home. But anyway, it's nice that that's a hidden benefit, that the room turned out to be much better suited for a larger group than what we've been in before. So today at the stitching meetup, I decided to get one of the days of stitching in that I need in order to meet Ginger Gerald's challenge to finish a large piece by the time he finishes Henry. And I have chosen Nantucket Rose as my piece that I want to finish. And I was working on her dress before, had sort of worked my way across here and down a little bit into some of this shaded area. So today I took it with me, and I had a goal, and I hit my goal. I was really tickled. I wanted to come down this little skirt here and get all this shaded area in here done, so that my next time I stitch on the skirt, I'll have this big block of color that I can work on. I'm also going to come over here and do more of the white next time, so that I don't wind up having all of the white at the very end to do. I'll try to mix it up a bit. So I'll show you where she is now. It may look similar to you because that skirt is just getting further down the page, but I was pleased with what I was able to accomplish today, especially considering that I was at a stitching meetup and we were talking and visiting. So that was really good. So that's on track. I also wanted to mention today at our stitching meetup, 2 things happened that were so nice. When I arrived at the library and was getting out of my car, a library patron was headed in with her 2 children, and she stopped me and said, "Is that your car with the Stitcher license plate?" I said, "Yeah, that's me." She said, "Are you a cross stitcher?" And I said, "Yes, I am." So she began to tell me that she knows how to stitch, and she's ready to teach her daughter how to stitch. And I told them all about our stitching meetup, and she put it on her calendar for next month. So I certainly hope she comes, and I hope she brings her daughter with her. I met her daughter, and she was delightful. So I'm hoping that they will. I got her number so I could call her and remind her, and I'm hoping that they'll come. Then while we were stitching, sort of toward the end of our day, another lady was walking by the door, looked in and saw what we were doing, and she came in and asked if she could see what everybody was working on. Turns out she is a cross stitcher, and she was a little bit intimidated, I think, because we had one lady, Karen, working on a Haid. Well, it's not a Haid brand, but it is a full coverage piece that she's making for her daughter. And we had several other people there working on, I was working on my Mirabilia, and Stephanie from Stitching It was working on a very detailed piece that she's about to finish. So y'all be watching. She's going to have a finish before you know it, we were so hoping she'd get it today so we could celebrate with her. But anyway, some pretty impressive pieces were sitting around that table being worked on. And this lady expressed the fact that she does Christmas ornaments and has done small pieces and was not experienced in the level of stitching that we were. And we were very quick to reassure her that we have all levels of stitching in our group and that we all stitch at different levels depending on what we're working on. You know, we might be doing a small piece the next time she sees us too. So I hope she'll come. We gave her the information as well, and I hope she'll come back next time. And she mentioned bringing her granddaughter with her. And so what I'm seeing that I'm really tickled about is that there are several women that are beginning to find our group who are interested in teaching a young generation how to cross stitch so that the craft doesn't die. And we are thrilled. We couldn't be happier about that. So I hope that continues to be the trend, and I'll keep you posted on how things turn out next month. So the other whip I want to share with you, I'm just going to share briefly with you because, as you know, I am on a journey to try to learn to crochet, and it has not gone swimmingly. I think anytime you learn a new craft, there can be growing pains, and I have had a bit of growing pains with mine. I shared with you my terrible accident on the last one where my one side just, you know, kind of dovetailed out. I still haven't pulled all that apart yet because I couldn't bring myself to do it yet, but I will. I'm getting over it. Not there yet, but I'm getting there. So instead, I went ahead and picked a different color yarn, and I picked a different size hook. I went with a much larger hook so that I could have this blanket completed a little bit quicker than the last one I'm working on, and decided to give it another try. And I'll share with you, I've got 4 skeins of yarn to put into this blanket, and this is the first skein. Notice it's straight on both ends. Yay. So here's the first skein. Isn't that a beautiful color? I just love it. I think this will be great for a little boy, and I'm just enjoying it, working on it. So I will weave in the start of the second skein maybe this week when or next week when I attend my knitting group again, and at least I'll have something to take with me that's presentable and I can share with them. But what I'm most excited about is one dear sweet lady. Several of you gave me hints and pointers about stitch counting and stitch counters, markers. And one person sent me a link that was wonderful. Crochet edges straight every time. And it was 4 minutes long, and it's working. I'm following it. But I had another sweet, sweet lady who contacted me and said that she would have recommended that I start with a different style blanket with a square middle that you just stitch around and around and around, and that she is willing to get online with me like a virtual stitching, except this time it'll be virtual crochet, and she's going to teach me how to do that. So she gave me instructions on how much yarn to get, and I've done that now, and I've got to message her back and let her know that I have my supplies and we can set a time to get together. And so I'm hoping that she can show me yet another pattern so I could do a baby blanket. And between the 2 of these projects, maybe I'll get at least one, that I can turn into the group. But I will tell you, it is addictive. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it at all, especially after I have to frog it back the first time, and now I've got to frog it back again. But, you know, you don't really gain if you don't go through the pain. So, you know, no pain, no gain. So I am learning. I'm learning every time, and I appreciate so much your comments and your help. Thank you for responding when I asked for hints and tips. every one of them have been wonderful, and I've tried to accommodate and, you know, put each of them into practice. So I wanted to thank you for how responsive you've all been to me. Appreciate it very much. Okay, here's the completed afghan. All 12 of the little sheep virtues are here. They're completely stitched, and I finished this last one today. So let me highlight it for you. This is Joyfulness. I love it. This is the second of the two sheep that have a design in their wool, and in this one it even has a lighter color around the neck and the two legs, which make it appear as if that little sheep is wearing a sweater. Just love it. Now, one of the things I've learned about these 12 designs by stitching them in the order that they were released is that they do correlate with the month of the year. The theme tends to correlate, or at least the background is that way. Let's go back and I'll show you. The very first one, Hope, has a snowflake. It's January. It has holly and a snowflake. And so that's obviously cold, January. Then Love would be February, and you've got the two little sheep there, and you've got the little hearts, almost like tattoos on them. They're so precious. These are the only two sheep that are stitched in the color that was called for in the ecru, and I had to back stitch them to help them show up. So from that point on, I stitched the sheep in DMC 3789, I think it is, for ecru, because it was a little bit darker, and unfortunately my afghan is ecru, and the colors just blended. Here's Peace. I love that. You can tell that's your spring. You've got the sheep there by Still Waters. Here's your Courage and Faith for April and May. You've got Simplicity in June. I also think it's interesting that Patience shows a mother with a baby. Love that. I love Wisdom. I love the fact that this sheep has a pattern in its wool. I think that's just wonderful. And I love it that the Friendship has two sheep because it has a friend. And then you'll remember these because they're more recent. Kindness, Gratitude, and I've talked about the color changes as I finish these. And then the last one today, Joyfulness. So I'm just thrilled. I'll back up again and let you see it with how this turned out. I think it's lovely. I'm gonna back it with a really soft flannel, and that way it'll be smooth against your person's skin as they sit and pull it over their lap. And I've decided not to put the buttons on it because I don't want you to sit on them. I think it might hurt. So I'm saving the buttons because I'm gonna restitch this series. I'm gonna add a piece in the middle, and I'm gonna make a picture out of these all in one, and I've decided to use this afghan in my bedroom over one of my chairs, and I'm gonna put it in a corner with a easy chair and put the picture on the wall right next to it, and because these colors match my bedroom perfectly. So I will take the picture that's going to be in the middle, and I'll change its colors to be this color palette, anything that's different. And when I get ready to start it, I'll remind you about it. Thanks for letting me share my afghan with you. Many of you have commented about how interesting it was to watch me stitch on an afghan. And so I hope it gives you an idea if you have one of these in your stash like I did for so many years, that a series is a great thing to put on an afghan. Whether it be these sheep virtues or whether it be little houses. I know there's a couple of the series, that has a house per month. Those would make great additions to an afghan. These are all stitched 1/1. This is an 18 count afghan, and I think they fit in the squares beautifully. I was asked by a viewer how I centered these, and I will tell you how I did it. I have a ruler that has stitch counts on it for various stitch counts, and I used my 18 count ruler and I measured from the inside line here to here, and I found the center this way and marked it with a counting pin, and then I took my ruler and measured from the inside line here to here, and I met up with that center point going this way, just like you find the center of your chart. And I just marked that center point with my counting pin, and then I would put it in my hoop. I have a hoop that attaches to the table side. I think Marlene showed us that. I bought mine after seeing her use hers at a retreat. And the hoop would fit right around this, so that this whole square was nice and taut, and I was able to stitch two-handed, which helped a lot. So there's my afghan. Thank you for letting me share it with you. My little sheep virtues. Hello everyone, welcome back again. Today is Tuesday, March 26th, and I am here to share with you wonderful happy mail that I have received. Recently, I shared a bit of a gift that I had received from a viewer with a couple of Flosstube people. I had sent a few things to Ingeborg, and I had sent a couple of things to Mary Rose, because when I opened the package, it screamed their name. It was just their style all the way. And the viewer who had shared that with me had said, please stitch what you want and feel free to share anything else that you would like to share. And so I made sure that the recipients knew how I had come about this gift and that I was just sharing it with them. Well, Ingeborg has been very kind and sweet and precious and thanked me on her channel, and Mary Rose did the same thing. But seriously, it was someone else's gift. I was just sharing it. But true to form, our Flosstube community is so kind and so giving that I got this beautiful card from Mary Rose as a thank you. She wrote me a sweet, sweet note in here, and said she wanted to return my kindness with a couple of little items, and so she did, and I wanted to share those with you because I was so tickled to get them, and I love them all. First, there's a thread cutter. This is one of those that you can either put on your scissor fob or on your stand or even on a chain around your neck, especially if you're flying and you don't have to worry about them confiscating your scissors. You just put the thread through one of these little openings, and there's a blade in there that will cut the thread. But even if you touch around the edge, it doesn't hurt you. So it's very safe to wear. And I like this one especially because it's plastic, it's not metal, so it shouldn't be too hard to get through the security check. But then I have this great chart here of a festive bear, and it is Christmas, and I know Mary Rose knows I love Christmas, and so I have this I'll have to stitch on, and it's the perfect size for a card, and I really want to stitch a few of Christmas cards this year, so I appreciate that, Mary Rose. And then in her card, she mentioned that she had found a pattern, a Mirabilia pattern that she thought would make a really good companion piece to my Nantucket Rose. And this is called Morning Song. And I have admired this pattern many times. And it's a lavender and lace, and I don't think I have it in my stash. I'm gonna look. If I do, it'll become part of a giveaway down the road, but I don't know that I have it. But I do love it. And so I agree with Mary Rose. It would be a perfect companion piece to Nantucket Rose. It's got a similar background with flowers and then a person, you know, in the beautiful dresses. And so I just think that would be a precious piece to do. So thank you. But the one that I really, really got tickled over was this. I have a Mary Rose scarf. And the funny thing is, I have on a scarf today, and I hadn't even planned it that way. I do love scarves, and I wear them quite frequently, and so I will be wearing this. And I have, these butterflies have a light blue in them, if you can see it, right there. See, there's a blue there, and a pink. I have both a pink sweater and a light blue sweater that this would look beautiful with. I also have a brown sweater. So I'm going to be pairing this with one of those sweaters tomorrow and putting this on and wearing it. So Mary Rose, thank you so very, very much. Such a thoughtful gift. I just wanted to share it with everybody. So I've been busy. I've been busy stitching, and I have been busy getting ready to finish things. So today I went to Joann's and I bought a backing fabric for my afghan. I didn't buy what I thought I was going to buy. I thought I was going to get flannel and have just a really lightweight back. I didn't find any flannel that I wanted to put on the back of my afghan. It was mostly more like pajama fabric prints, you know, for children. And I'm not trying to make this one look real juvenile, so I didn't pick those. Instead, I was trying to choose between a beautiful suede and a fleece, and I decided the suede would be a little too stiff, possibly, for this to be a comfy wrap or lap blanket, which is what I'm planning to use it as. So I wound up getting a beautiful deep green fleece to go on the back of my afghan. So I'm going to be putting that together, and when I finish that, I'll show it to you. The other thing I've been working on is Nantucket Rose. I am taking my participation in Ginger Gerald's challenge very seriously. I am coming for you, Gerald. I am trying to finish this in time for your Henry. So I have been working every spare moment that I have on Nantucket Rose. So when I have a day on my calendar that I had open because I had a lot of things to do, errands to run, or like today was my first day volunteering at our community food pantry for the next 2 weeks. We have the next 2 weeks to be responsible for in our community from the group of our church members that take care of that. And so today was my first day there, and I wasn't sure if I would get a lot of stitching done. So I got up this morning and I spent my morning time stitching Vanna on this one. And then when I got back after volunteering at the pantry, I picked her back up again, and I'm working on her again. Tomorrow I will do the same thing. All this week I will try to eke out as much stitching on her as I can. I'm hoping to finish her by next month, sometime in the month of April, because May will be Mania. And if I can finish her in the month of April, then I know that I will have her done in time to meet Ginger Gerald's challenge. So that's what I've been working on, and I will share with you where I'm at, because I have made a little progress since the last time you saw her. And got my needle here, so let me grab that. So I'll show you. I've still got it on the Q-snap, but I've taken the one end off so you can kind of see where we've gone from here. I am working on that skirt. So I have put in the last few days, I have put in everything from this dark crease here, this fold, all the way over to here in the last couple of days. And so I have been just working on this skirt. So I have the front folds to do that hang off this corner, and then of course I have the white drape here to do. There is still a lot of work to do on her. I am still hopeful that I can finish her by the end of April. But at the end of the month, as it turned out, because I am doing the pantry this week, I had not put on my calendar anything past the ABC sale, which is when I finished my last Little Sheep Virtue for my afghan. And so I do have a couple of days in here that I'm being able to squeak in for Nantucket Rose. So that's been my plans. I am going to stop the video vlogging for now for this month and go ahead and get it ready tomorrow, upload it so that y'all can start watching it, because I am going to participate in Stephanie's birthday sale and Stephanie Kine's birthday sale, Ms. Oh So Crafty. And I will vlog each day to show you what I've worked on and my progress each day for what I chose to meet her specifications. And that'll start next month's video. So I hope you all are having a wonderful month of stitching. There's still a few days left this month, and I know you'll get to wrap up some things, and I just hope you have a wonderful time of it. And I will see you again in April, Lord willing. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye. Hello, everyone. It's time to find out who is going to be the lucky recipient for this lovely pattern called Halloween Tricks by the Stony Creek Collection. And I'm going to do the random number generator to select the winner. And then I will comment on your comment so that you will know to send me your mailing address so I can ship this out to you. So I'm going to use a random number generator here. There were 24 people who were interested in this pattern. 24. And so we will now generate number 21. Number 21 is Cynthia Moore. Cynthia, lucky. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. I'll go comment on your comment that you've won the Halloween Tricks, and you can send me your address, and I will be happy to mail out this pattern for you. Congratulations, Cynthia.